So today's video is totally unplanned. I originally set out to go and film a video in the bush somewhere, but as I was walking along the cliff face searching for an access point to the bush, I kept on stumbling across all these cool little plants that were growing out of the rocks, and accordingly I decided to make a video on those plants instead. So yeah, a little bit of a change of scenery, and I hope you enjoy. Where we're going to find a few extra species that aren't typically in the forest. This first one here is Dysphima austral, which is the New Zealand ice plant. Now sometimes this can be mistaken for Carpa brotus species, which are the invasive species of ice plant, but this one is a native. And the easiest way to tell the difference is that the very tips of the leaves, so you can see this one over here, you can see that it is a mucronate tip. You can see it kind of ends in a very tiny, short, abrupt, sharp tip, and that's a giveaway that it is Dysphima austral. And also the leaves themselves, and also the sepals, or the keel of the sepal, which is kind of the ridge on the underside of the sepal here. The sepal is the leaf-like structure that kind of sits below and cups the flower. But yeah, anyways, the keel of these sepals and also the margins of the leaves are smooth. So that's how you differentiate the native ice plant from the invasive Carpa brotus ice plants. We've also got another native here. This is Senecio lautus, and yeah, just tiny little yellow flower, but you'll notice that with most plants along kind of the coastal areas, they have these almost succulent leaves, like they're quite thick and fleshy, and that's typically just an adaptation that helps them cope with the salty environment. Kind of like how cactuses in a desert deal with avoiding drying out in those conditions. And another more coastal species that you may come across is this one here. This is the glasswort, Salicornia quinqueflora. There you go, pretty unique plant. It's called glasswort because if you actually kind of snap off the tips of these, you will see that it's clear on the inside. I'm not going to do it because the camera probably won't pick up on it, in which case it's just being mean to the plant at that point. But yeah, glasswort. And yet another native here. Who would have thought that a rocky cliff face would be so diverse with native species? But yeah, so this is Triglochin striata. Don't think it really has a common name, but yeah, it's a kind of a little grass thing. I think it's more of a rush. It's got these really interesting looking flowering or fruiting stems here. Otherwise it's a tiny little plant, not much to it. Another classic coastal native is Samolus repens. Little plant here. Repens basically means that it grows flat along the ground and will root wherever it finds soil to grow in. But yeah, again, you got these fleshy leaves and yeah, being attacked by ants. That's not good. And yet another native. This is a native lobelia species. So this is Lobelia anceps, the coastal or shore lobelia. And yeah, pretty easily distinguished from other species of lobelia by the fleshier leaves. Unfortunately, I can't find any flowers of this lobelia, but I'll keep looking. And I've found our native peperomia yet again. This is Peperomia erveliana. We do have another species of peperomia, but don't believe I've come across it ever. Yeah, pretty cool. Yet again another succulent species to help it cope with the drying environments of salt spray. You can see how thick the leaves are just there. Just for reference, the peperomia is all the way up there. The things I do for you guys. That was a bit sketchy to get up close and get a snap of it, but it was worth it. I do enjoy a little bit of adrenaline sports, as you may know. I've made my way onto this precarious little rock stack here, surrounded by water on both sides, because I spotted something that I want to show you guys. So I've already shown you the Samolus repens, but I've found some flowers, so that's pretty cool. Here it is. So that's the flower of Samolus repens. There's a few of them up here. There's some more down there, but I don't feel too confident to get closer to those ones. Very cool. This is a beautiful location. Absolutely stunning. Too bad it's not sunny today, but I mean it's probably good for my skin. Forgot to wear sunscreen. But yeah, onwards we go. Let's see what else we can find. I've just spotted an octopus. It's made its way underneath that rock right there in the middle of the screen. I might go a bit closer and see if I can actually get a shot of it. He's decided to hide. There you go. How cool is that? I'd really like you to come out. That'd be fun. Well, it looks like the tide's coming in and I've reached kind of a bit of a precarious cliff that I would have to scale down if I wanted to continue. So I might turn back now. Although there's a lot more cliffside that I could explore and potentially more species that I haven't seen yet, but I think it's probably a good time to turn back before I get stranded in one of these various bays here, because I don't know what it's like at high tide, so better to play it safer than sorry. I see you. That's a big crab. Maybe I'll see if I can catch it. Oh, there's another one. There's a second crab. They're too quick. They are too quick. Look at that guy. I don't know if I do want to grab it, because he'll also grab me at the same time, and that would not be fun. Handsome fella. So this was my way back. I was too busy fluffing around trying to catch crabs, and now I am officially stranded because I need to get over that edge there, but there's no way around that. I'm gonna have to get wet shoes, or just wet feet at least. Alright, neat. Well, I managed to make it into this cave here. I waited for the waves to go out and I hopped across these rocks, and I'm on dry ground currently. And this cave looks like it leads through. So we might be free. Okay. Oh, freedom. We made it. Thank goodness for that. And that is the home stretch. So there's no more strandings. Whew. Didn't even get wet feet. I mean, actually, I do feel some water soaking into the back of my sock on my left foot. So I must have got touched a little bit by a wave as I was hopping across rocks. But I think that was quite successful, especially for being in shoes and jeans. Well, there you go. That session was entirely unplanned. I was actually making my way around the side of the cliff to see if I could find my way into some sort of forest or bush. But I kept on stumbling across all these cool little plants, so I ended up making a video. And yeah, a bit of a different scenery for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. And I'll be sure to try and change up the scenery a bit and do some different kinds of habitats and whatnot as well. Alright, I'll see you on the next one.